Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Grab some popcorn, get comfy in your seat because we are going to be watching the hopefully successful, hopefully successful Hakuto-R Moon Landing attempt in just a few minutes. Matter of fact, their stream has already begun and they're starting to show a little bit of pre show footage. But first, I just wanted to say hello to everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Hello, Amtrak. Good to see you. Zap fan. Good to see you. And yes, I hope that that little Swedish cabin makes it down to the surface. Nice little art payload that they have. I'm also pretty excited about the little Universal Century plaque that they have from the Gundam series. I'm sure Jared is as well. Therian, good to see you. Third moon landing this year. I feel spoiled, but spoil me more. 100%. And if all goes well, maybe we'll get one more at the end of the year. Maybe not. I don't know how well Astrobotic is doing right now, but there should be another attempt this year. All right. Hello, Mule Skinner Films. Hello, 3D Blaster. Good to see everybody. Let me know where you're watching from, and let's get switched over to their stream. Sorry, look, I am got too many screens going on here. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to minimize myself and move this around a little bit. Actually, I'm going to minimize myself even more. And let me turn up the volume on this so that we can hear what's going on. Oh, and I have it muted on this end as well. There we go. All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for bearing with me. Super excited about this. Super excited about this. How's the audio? Are you only able to hear me right now? Actually, I'm going to move my camera up to the top there so that we can see their text at the bottom.
We can make a very successful result.
Hopefully we'll have John will be joining in just a couple of minutes, I believe. And Jared, I believe, is busy at work, but I love the plan that they have for this. Okay, I'm about 3 dB above. All of our crew and all our engineers. I'm going to turn theirs down just a little bit until we get to the important bits. Right now, just doing their kind of pre-landing coverage. I'm super impressed with how far they've come. I mean, their core group, as I mentioned the other day in Space Pod that we put out, has been around since the Google Lunar X Prize days. So they have been pushing for this really hard. All right, looks like they're playing some of the launch highlights again. Yeah, these guys are super smart. They have a whole ton of sponsorships that they've been able to do. So many Japanese companies, couple of banks, couple of insurance companies, a couple of tech hardware type of companies, and all those donations and investments and sponsorships all together has enabled them to be able to pay for this stuff. And not only do they have a great team in Japan, but they acquired they started and acquired a group in Luxembourg that is the one that has built their rover, the Tenacious rover that is on this mission. And they have plans for their Luxembourg team to do even more in the future when it comes to rovers and other pieces of hardware and things like that. All right, John is here. We will add him in a little bit once he gets his camera set up. And let me just turn this up just a little bit. Yeah, this is pretty epic. Pretty epic. Hopefully everything goes well this time. Man, so excited for this. All right, now I'm going to turn it up. This seems like the real thing now. Let's tune in and hear what's going on. By the way, where's everybody watching from?
Welcome to the live streaming event for iSpace's Hakuto-R Mission 2 Venture Moon Lunar Landing. This event will be conducted in Japanese, but you can enjoy the live broadcast by accessing iSpace's official YouTube channel. Enjoy the live broadcast in Japanese on the Hakuto-R channel, and for simultaneous English interpretation, go to the iSpace channel.
For English interpretation of our live stream, please access the iSpace YouTube channel or iSpace-inc.com/landing.
I'll be your MC for today's event, Kevin Zaleski from iSpace PR, and I'm Riko Shintaku from iSpace IR. Thank you all for joining us today. So Riko, landing day is finally here. It really is, Kevin. I believe everyone is, but I'm half nervous and half thrilled. I can't wait. I know exactly what you mean. With this anticipation and excitement in the air, we're thrilled to bring you the most exciting moment of Mission 2 live tonight. After launching in January 2025 and spending nearly 5 months traveling through space, iSpace's Resilience Lander and Tenacious rover are now on the verge of achieving Japan's first and Asia's first privately led lunar landing. For those of you joining us for the first time, allow me to give a brief introduction to iSpace. iSpace is a global company engaged in lunar exploration. Our vision, expand our planet, expand our future, reflects our mission to harness space for the benefit of humanity so that people on Earth can continue to live prosperous lives into the future. We aim to expand the sphere of human activity into space and create a sustainable lunar economy. To begin, we're offering reliable payload transportation services, that is, delivering customers' payloads to the moon and providing lunar surface data. What truly sets iSpace apart is our global presence. While today's broadcast is from Japan, we also have offices in Denver, Colorado in the United States and Luxembourg in Europe. With a team of approximately 300 members across these 3 locations, we continue to grow as a global enterprise. Our first commercial lunar exploration program consists of 2 missions. Mission 1, which attempted a lunar landing in April 2023, unfortunately did not succeed. However, we applied the lessons learned from that mission to prepare for today's second landing attempt. Mission 2 includes not only a lunar landing, but also plans for lunar exploration using our own in-house developed rover. And that is not all. Team Driver Commercial Mission 1 will deliver NASA payloads from the Apex 1.0 lander developed by our U.S. subsidiary, iSpace US, to lunar orbit and the lunar surface. TDCM-1 will contribute to the U.S. Artemis
Welcome, John.
Through this mission.
Good afternoon, Mike.
All right. Today's live stream is coming to you from Otemachi, just a short distance from the Hakuto-R Mission Control Center in Nihonbashi, Tokyo. We are broadcasting from Rising Square, a venue provided by
I'm going to turn this down for just a minute. What you saw on screen just a moment ago was their Apex lander, which is going to be what they're going to be using for future missions. So this is the last time that they're actually going to use this current model for the Hakuto landing, the Hakuto lander. And again, hopefully everything goes well. It is about 3:20 in the morning right now in Japan. And I mean, unless there has been a delay, this should be happening very fast because they kept posting out that this would be happening at 3:24 Japanese 3:24 a.m. Japanese Standard Time. So hopefully they will get through with their kind of introductions and things here and start giving us some telemetry real soon. Neil, good to see you.
As for the subsequent
Yeah.
milestone success time,
Everybody wishing good fortune for this. Let's all send our positive vibes and hope that this goes well. We
Yes,
need another win.
hopefully
We
we'll
being
have.
humanity.
Yeah. Well, they've upgraded the sensors this time around, so hopefully it will do a lot. It will get there. It will land. It will be a great success. So.
Hopefully so, yeah.
The Resilience lander currently on its way to the
All
moon.
right, there's their mission control. Or at least, actually, I think that might be the Netherlands office.
I think that's the Netherlands office, yeah, the head office. Or the.
Well, let me turn it back up so we can hear what they're saying about this.
Everyone seems quite nervous. Yes, the MCC crew in Nihonbashi is already fully focused and in mission mode. Also, during the landing, we may hear live audio updates from MCC. If any English announcements come through, the venue speakers will jump in and explain them for you. So stay tuned. Additionally, the Resilience lander is about to perform a maneuver to leave lunar orbit. The preparations for today's landing have actually been underway at the MCC for several days already. Now let's hear from the MCC crew to better understand what's coming up in the next hour as the lander makes its final approach to the moon.
Yeah, their mission control center is in
Hi everyone,
Nihonbashi, Tokyo.
The M2 Mission Director, and we
Got
are here
it.
today in the Hakuto-R Mission Control Center, or MCC as we call it. Today we will monitor from here the landing attempt of M2.
Hi, my name is Janelle Wellens, and I'm the Deputy Mission Director for Mission 2, who will be your flight director on landing day here inside the Hakuto-R Mission Control Center. We start from 24 hours before the automated descent actually begins. In this 24 hours, we're going to have three shifts doing
my
three
bad,
distinct
everybody.
different jobs. The first two shifts are going to be focused on making sure that
For
our
some
lander
reason,
is
I thought they were
prepared for
13
the
hours ahead of me.
autonomous
They're
descent.
14 hours ahead of me,
This
so we still got a
includes
little ways to
determining
go.
our
Good.
velocity
Good,
and
good.
position with some uncertainty so that we can give that to the lander prior to it making its own decisions after that autonomous point begins. These two shifts will also be responsible for power-saving activities, and they will also be preparing our fuel tanks to make
nice.
sure their temperatures and pressures are ready for this final burn. After these first two shifts are able to sign off that our
New
lander
renders
status
just
is
dropped.
great, the final shift takes over for the landing. We begin 8 hours before the autonomous sequence kicks off and use those final orbit determination products to upload a command sequence and other products that will allow our spacecraft to have the best chance at landing. Once these products are uploaded, they will be reviewed extensively by the engineers who are sitting in this room in what we call the descent review meeting. At this point in time, we will start to generate a burn plan, which details the landing site and all of the other parameters that have to do with it that our engineers can verify before we move forward. After this point, we will have what is called the authority to proceed. It's our final go, no go, where every console in this room will have to let me know verbally if we are going to be all systems go for landing.
Thank you to everyone at MCC. We're counting on you and rooting for you.
Everybody in chat, I'd like to get your guys' opinions on this. What do you think is going to happen? What's your predictions? Do you think that they're going to be successful? Do you think that they're going to have similar problems that they did last time? Or do you think that they have worked it out and that things will go well? What is your predictions for this? Let me know in the chat.
We'll be monitoring the phase 1 and departure from orbit, so let me take a moment to explain what those mean. The landing process is provided into 6 phases, and in the very first phase, the lander fires its thrusters briefly. That deceleration causes the spacecraft's orbit around the moon to gradually drop. Through that deceleration, the lander descends from lunar orbit and gradually approaches the moon's surface. After departing from orbit, the Resilience continues to approach the lunar surface, descending from an altitude of 100 to approximately 20 kilometers. This marks the start of landing phase 2, cruise descent. Yes, that's exactly right. We'll take a closer look at the upcoming landing phases later on. But as mentioned earlier, the lander has
Nice. Therian thinks that they'll nail it this time. Green across the board from YouTube username. Excellent name, by the way. They're going to stick the landing. Heck yeah. Everything's going to go as planned and succeed. Yes, let's keep up those positive
There
vibes.
was announced, the OI confirmed. So that means that the lunar orbit departure maneuver has been successfully executed. This has been confirmed, so that is going smoothly. Thank you very much. Now, during tonight's event, the Mission Control Center will be using real-time data called telemetry, which is transmitted directly from the Resilience lander to help visualize and explain the lander's current status in an easy-to-understand format. This screen you're looking at is a visualization of telemetry data received from the lander. Please note that some of the data is still pending and will be received later. Once confirmed, we will provide updates in this format again. Wow, there's a lot of information here, so that our
let me
viewers
rearrange
can
so
follow
that we
along
can see
on their
that a
own.
little bit better.
Could you give us a quick user guide or how to read this display? Absolutely. First, in the two circles in the upper right corner, the numbers show Resilience's current altitude above the lunar surface and its velocity. As for the altitude, it will be displayed once the data has been received later on. Below that, you can see the estimated time remaining until landing. Please note that this is subject to change based on data received from the lander, so we ask that you view it as a reference only. I see. So that means the live data from the lander is being reflected on the screen, right?
49 minutes to go.
Is just for reference then.
Not good yet that we don't have any speed or altitude, but I'm sure that that'll come soon.
Exactly. It helps you picture the situation more clearly. Just below that, we're also displaying the thruster status of Resilience. The large circular shape represents the main thruster, and next to it, you can see the status of the 6 assist thrusters. These thrusters will fire or stop depending on the landing phase. When thruster is firing, it lights up blue. We'll explain more about this screen as we go along. Okay. And now, we'd like to take a moment to hear a message from one of our very special guests who has joined us here in person today. We're honored to welcome none other than Mr. Hiroshi Yamakawa, President of the JAXA, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Mr. Yamakawa, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I am Hiroshi Yamakawa, President of JAXA. I thought quite a bit about my speech, but I'm overwhelmed by your passion at the moment. First of all, I would like to offer words of congratulations to everyone who has been working so hard to welcome this day. CEO and founder, Mr. Hakamada, and everyone at iSpace, everyone associated
yes, Wolf
to this
Bear.
event.
Heck yeah.
Up until today, I know all of you made hard effort to come to this point. And many missions and projects we have undertaken at JAXA. We have welcomed many guests like this, so I understand how you feel right now, quite nervous and thrilled and excited, I'm sure. but at the same time, very excited and passionate about what's going to happen. I feel the same. And I'm so looking forward to this. And I have a chance to speak with
Nice,
you.
AAA.
I speak with everyone in the industry every week, and lots of people from all over the world, and lots of people talk about your venture, your project, this Hakuto-R 2 event or project. I'm so looking forward to what's going to happen today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Yamakawa.
Ganbare. You can do
And
it.
what makes today's landing event even more special is that we're connected to 3 global venues. In addition to our venue here in Telemetry, Tokyo, we're also connected with iSpace's offices in Luxembourg and Denver, Colorado, as well as in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. So first, let's start our live check-ins. First up in Luxembourg. This year marks the 20th anniversary of Luxembourg joining the European Space Agency, and a special commemorative event is being held today. So today's event is hosted by the Luxembourg
Space people, landing should be in under 45 minutes. We should be under 45 minutes away. Also, hi Raj Luthra. Good to see you.
As they prepare for landing, the Tenacious rover heading to the moon was developed by iSpace's European office with the support of LSA. And if today's landing succeeds, it will become the first European rover to drive on the lunar surface. Many VIPs, including representatives from the Luxembourg government and the European Space Agency, are watching the resilient landers descent in person at the venue. And today we are hearing comments from 3 distinguished guests versus the CEO of the Luxembourg Space Agency, Mr. Mark Serres, and the Director of Commercialization.
Preparing for hopefully a very, very, very light bounce, very light touchdown. No bounce. No bounce.
Perfect touchdown. It's just gonna settle.
That's right.
I want to see Blue Ghost style footage from them.
Oh gosh, I would love that.
Yeah.
They probably. I mean, I doubt that they have.
We'll get sensors to start with, and we'll probably get footage later on. But
absolutely.
Blue Ghost was more. It was more south, wasn't it? So this will be.
This one's more north, and there is a direct line of sight to it, but I doubt that they're going to be able to stream live video. That's why they have their animation for it. However, we can hope that they will be able to send video later on. I mean, shoot, even just this past week, the Blue Ghost finally uploaded the 4K footage of their landing, which if you haven't seen that, you should check it out.
It looks amazing,
Wow. Beautiful.
Literally minutes after I'd done some bits for you on the previous video with the Blue Ghost landing stuff, they uploaded that.
Yeah, they posted that. Yeah.
It looks so much nicer.
The little Tenacious rover that you see on their table, though, that is confirmed to have their high quality camera on it. It might just be HD. It might not have 4K. As for the cameras on the lander itself,
would be good enough.
Right? Yeah, even 720p would be good enough. As for the lander itself, though, I am not sure if it has very many cameras on it, but again, we can all hope that they will be able to release that later, as long as everything is successful.
The rover's got a house on it. The house needs CCTV. So.
Needs security.
Yeah, exactly.
In any case, let me turn this back in and see hear what the Luxembourg folks have to say.
We provide ground services. We provide telemetry and tracking, which is essential infrastructure for lunar exploration operations. So we are very happy for that. I would like also to say that this is a very good example of how we can support new space in Europe, what we are really eager to do at ESA, and also to support eventually a sustainable European and Japanese presence on the moon.
Hi, Melanie.
So this is really good. And last, I think Tenacious is hopefully a very successful technological achievement, but beyond the technology, it's also, once again, a symbol of the future of lunar exploration. So very happy to be with you.
Thank you, Geraldine. So, of course, I'm very happy, and I think all the team is very happy to be here tonight and part of this really amazing event. It's a very emotional moment to be here and to be connected with you in Japan, to watch this memorable moment. As you heard, there is a lot of excitement, but at the same time, a lot of tension here. We are all sort of looking at what will happen now in a few minutes. This is not only, of course, this very important moment for iSpace, but I think for us it's also a way to celebrate a very good cooperation with another country, with Japan. I think this is something that is very close to our heart. We believe that cooperation is one of the component, the ingredients of success in space.
Hi, Roger C.
We have said it several times, this is difficult to go to space. And so this is a really remarkable
Interesting
achievement.
Space people.
Whatever happens, I think we would like here to very warm.
Yeah, I think we would all love to see more moon rovers. And that would be amazing if we see more of their little rovers. I mean, that's what their whole Luxembourg office is for, is building rovers and eventually helping out with more of the telemetry type of stuff. But they would certainly be a shame if they only do one of them.
To share these great moments with you.
Thank you so much. Let's do this.
Thank you very much to everyone in Luxembourg and to our entire iSpace Europe crew. 皆さん、ありがとうございます。
We should be about 35 minutes out.
Let me briefly summarize, what we just heard. So we heard that 750 people have gathered in Luxembourg to witness this historic moment, and there's great anticipation for future collaboration on commercial mission under international cooperation. And the ESA is supporting iSpace's mission too by providing ground station services, and emphasized that this mission.
Yeah, James Moore. It's exciting to see all these different groups sticking it out and keeping on the path and getting to this point. It's amazing.
Yeah, a lot of people from around the world, from different companies, have come together for this landing.
Yeah, it's great. I love these type of international collaborations. And absolutely, Emil, it's really cool to see that the house in the traditional Swedish colors.
A Swedish house this time, Swedish meatballs next time.
That'll be the meat growth experiment.
The IKEA furniture setup for the first moon base.
We've set up a public viewing event.
Yeah, Dave Avery, I saw that static booster 16 static fire happening around the same time. But this is more important. They're landing on the moon, dang it. There'll be lots more static fires.
This is for science.
IKEA moon opening soon.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Commercial space flight and the Federation President, Mr. David Cavosa, and iSpace.
Hey, there's Ron Guerin on the left there.
Are you ready to land on the moon?
Let's hear what he has to say.
Are you ready to land on the moon?
Uh-oh, mic troubles.
Hey guys, we can't hear you. It's possible that you have to turn on your audio feed. Sorry about that.
I want one of those little resilience flags.
Right?
少しちょっと音声がこちらには届いてないですけれども。
はい、we can't hear you guys.
Oh,
yes,
Ruh-roh.
Please, Ron. Go ahead.
Hopefully, that's the only problem today. A little bit of audio communication.
Stage for us, and we got to get a higher bar. So thanks, Julian, for that. But we all here. We got about 150 people, very, very excited people gathered here in Washington D.C. So let's all say hi. Ohio gozaimasu to everybody in Tokyo. Kevin-san and Shintaka-san, can you hear us?
Yes, yes. Yes, yes.
Oh, super, super. So, like I said, we got a whole bunch of people here. We're all really, really excited. So far, we've been talking about the historic significance of the regolith transfer that we're going to do and how innovative activities like that, innovative programs like the NASA CLIPS program is going to spark a commercial lunar market that's going to allow us to take off exponentially in our development of the moon, of our exploration of the moon, and that's going to lead to a significant permanent human presence on the moon for the benefit of all. And as you have already mentioned, I'm joined here by Karen Feldstein, NASA's Associate Administrator in the Office of International and Interagency Relations, and Dave Cabosa, the President of the Commercial Space Federation. And Karen, do you have some words you want to say to our global iSpace team, to people that are viewing from all around the world?
Love to. Thank you. First of all, greetings to Tokyo, and if you can hear us in Luxembourg, it is incredibly exciting to celebrate this moment together with our partners all over the world. We are so excited to see this mission today. You've talked about these big milestones. We are so proud at NASA of our CLIPS program and the stimulation we've given to creating this lunar economy and creating a predictable environment. So important to operating at the moon. We have also inspired our president to propose for NASA the commercial Mars payload system as well, to launch robotic precursor missions to the Martian surface. So on and on we go. We know now astronauts from Japan will walk with America on the surface of the moon through Artemis, and that we'll learn how to live and work together on another world. So we celebrate all of you, all of the amazing engineers and scientists watching tonight. Good luck, iSpace.
Thank you, Karen. Dave, would you like to add some words to that?
Thank you, Ron.
Where do I know this guy
The
from?
current
I've seen him
golden age
before.
of space exploration didn't happen by chance. Advocates and policymakers in the United States and throughout the world have worked for decades to open space to commercial space exploration and public-private partnerships, just like we're watching today. We've worked for decades to commercialize and make space launch affordable. We've worked for decades, and to be honest, we're still working to ensure that commercial entities like iSpace can launch and operate safely in space through common sense policies, best practices, and reasonable regulations. We are stronger and can achieve more together with these dynamic public-private partnerships that leverage private investment and industry's innovation. Godspeed resilience.
Woo! All right, with that, back to you, Kevin Son, Dr. Son, and Godspeed resilience, Godspeed tenacious. We're going to do this. All right.
Yeah, let's go.
Washington, D.C., thank you so much.
We should be
Right, thank you very
about
much,
30
everybody.
minutes.
We're out there in Washington, D.C. Here's what we just heard. So first, NASA is working to strengthen partnerships both domestically and internationally. One key example is the Artemis Accords, which now has around 50 signatory countries. Japan was among the first 8 nations to sign. NASA has also expressed a strong support for iSpace's Mission 2, with high expectations that a Resilience lander and a Tenacious rover will make important contributions to our understanding of the moon. And the Commercial Space Flight and Federation is working to expand the Earth's economic sphere, reinforce U.S. leadership in aerospace, and inspire the next generation of engineers and explorers. And they are highly valuing the iSpace's continued effort in lunar exploration, and they noted that its innovative technologies and persistence mission progress are advancing the development of the cislunar economy. Thank you, everybody from Washington, and thank you for joining us. And finally, let's connect it to the viewing event at iSpace US headquarters in Denver, Colorado. And as we heard earlier from the team in Washington, iSpace US is currently preparing for Mission 3.
iSpace US crew, are you guys excited about today's landing?
Excited about today's landing, iSpace US crew. I like it. There's just a little bit of a time lag, but the team in Denver is also pumped up too, and absolutely. And let's take a look at the video message.
If you
from
guys
Elizabeth
look closely, oh, that's her.
iSpace
I was about to say, the lady in the front that had the leg cast, this is their new CEO of the U.S. office. This is her, so let's listen in.
But for our industry and humanity's continued journey beyond Earth. iSpace Mission 2 represents an immense amount of collaboration, persistence, and innovation that has come into this extraordinary mission. I am so grateful and humbled for the iSpace team that has come together to get this far, literally almost to the moon. Here in the US, we are also working on our first US mission and subsequent missions that are building upon the history and heritage from Mission 1 and Mission 2. We are very excited and proud of this incredibly capable team that is designing and developing our Apex 1.0 lunar lander and Alpine and Lupine relay satellites, currently set to lift off in 2027. As part of Team Draper Commercial Mission 1, we are so proud to be part of the team that delivers NASA's scientific payloads as well as commercial payloads to the far side of the moon. And finally, thank you to the iSpace team, family and friends for coming together and supporting each other and getting one step closer to expanding our planet, expanding our future.
All right.
Thank you, Elizabeth and the Denver crew.
Josh, yeah. This is the dream. This is the dream. Loosely federation of different space groups, and as time goes on, it could become Starfleet as we advance our starships and technology towards warp, faster than light, or dimension jumper. That's the dream. And that's why I'm so obsessed with rockets now, because that's what we've got to work with at the moment until we move forward with that more advanced technology. And yeah, I would join in a heartbeat as well, Raj. Let me turn it back up.
World. Thank you all so much for your incredible support from all corners of the world. Thank you.
The whole world is rooting for you.
Well, now that we've felt the incredible energy of support from around the world, and we have another very special message to share. We're honored to present a message from the 32nd U.S. Ambassador to Japan, Ambassador George Glass, who assumed his post just this spring.
All right.
Greetings from one mission control to another. I'm George Glass, United States Ambassador to Japan. I know how nervous you all must be feeling right now as you wait for the Resilience lander to touch down. And in 1969, I sat transfixed like millions around the world watching Apollo 11 lunar module land on the moon. But the toughest part of that was the waiting for Neil Armstrong to open the hatch, descend the ladder, and take those historic first steps for mankind. While I'm unable to be there with you on behalf of the United States, I want to wish Hakamata-san and the entire iSpace team the very best of luck. You embody the same pioneering and resolute spirit that launched the Apollo program and all those missions that have sought to push back the frontiers of space. The United States and Japan have already accomplished so much together and in our exploration and understanding of space. And this mission, which began with the SpaceX rocket lifting off from Kennedy Space Center in January, takes us further on that trajectory. iSpace's achievements are helping pave the way for an American astronaut to walk on the moon again, and this time with a Japanese astronaut by their side. Just as we are learning and building together, we are dreaming together as well, limited only by our imagination. Thank you and good luck. The world is rooting for you.
Okay, that was nice. That was a nice message. I'm not mad at it.
Ambassador Glass, thank you very much for the wonderful message. And lastly,
now close this part of the program. We're honored to welcome one more very special guest. Rico, could you do the honors? Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you today the Minister of State for Space Policy of the Cabinet Office and a member of the House of Representatives, Minister Minoru Kiuchi. Minister Kiuchi, thank you very much for joining us today. Good morning, everyone. I'm also
he looks
excited
like he could be
and
Shinzo
nervous.
Abe's brother. Holy cow.
I'm truly
Yeah, he looks very
honored
similar.
and happy to witness this historical moment with all of you, this historical challenge by iSpace, and also great expectations for our space industry of Japan. I'm feeling that very vividly. The lander's name is Resilience, as you know. Just as the name suggests, Mission 2 is a re-challenge, a bold attempt to return to the moon, drawing strength from last year's experience. And I'm hoping that it can take some images of the Earth from the surface of the moon. Quite nervous and excited. And I would like to share with you messages from people all around the world, or for the people from viewing from the world. This is not just a challenge, but it's a great challenge of people who will never quit.
Okay, they haven't brought back the telemetry screen yet, possibly because they are working out some kinks, because when they had it on earlier in the stream, for those who have joined recently, it was showing their timeline, but it wasn't actually showing any speed or altitude. As long as everything's going okay and they've worked out any sort of kinks, we should be only about 25 minutes away from the landing attempt. So should be happening soon, and if not, they'll tell us.
Let's take a closer look at the landing process. Please watch this explanation from the Hakuto-R Mission Control Center team.
Right, new render just dropped.
After configuring the spacecraft, the team will send a command to initiate the automatic descent sequence. Throughout this time, the spacecraft will slowly get closer to the surface of the moon while reducing its speed until finally it's close enough and slow enough to gently touch on the surface of the moon. At that time, the team will regain control and we
I love that thought, Melanie.
The preparations for the surface operations phase.
So just before we start the landing phase, we are about 100 kilometers above the surface of the moon, and then we start our first phase of the landing, which is the deorbit insertion. This is a very short fire from the lander, which basically tries to bring us closer to the surface of the moon. We come to around 18 to 25 kilometers to the moon. And once that finishes, we start the second phase of landing, which we call the coast descending phase. In this phase, the lander is basically just coasting around and trying to get closer and closer to the moon's surface. And then, right about when we are closest to the moon, which is around 18 kilometers, we start the third phase, which is the braking burn phase. This is the phase where we try to reduce the horizontal velocity as much as we can. We were going very fast, so we fire all of our thrusters, we burn very furiously, and then we try to reduce it as much as we can. And after a certain amount of time, we reach the fourth phase, which is the braking burn / pitch up phase. So we were horizontal before, now we are trying to become a little vertical to approach our landing site, and then we reach
this part. This is the part that I always struggle with in Kerbal Space Program. For everyone watching, who has played Kerbal Space Program and who has successfully been able to land on the moon and do this maneuver that they're talking about, nulling out your speed and evening out and having a nice, safe descent without any crashes or explosions? Let me know in the chat who's been able to do that before. Who knows this hardship right here that they're showing us?
And once that finishes, we are at the moon.
Thank you, everyone at the MCC. By the way, we have a total of 6 payloads of our customers on the lander and the rover. The first one we are introducing is the Tenacious micro rover developed and manufactured by Space Europe and Luxembourg with the support of the Luxembourg Space Agency. If this mission succeeds, it will become Europe's first lunar rover to drive on the moon. Next, we have a water electrolysis device from Takasago Thermal Engineering, also loaded onto Resilience. One of iSpace's key missions is to explore and eventually
World currently has an overdose of clean-ons.
The hydrogen and oxygen produced through water electrolysis electrolysis,
This is
converted
that
into
water
liquid
experiment
hydrogen
they
and
were
liquid
doing to
oxygen,
electrolyze and
can
generate
serve
oxygen.
as a
there it
secondary energy
is.
source in space.
See, this is what I figured it was
Resilience
going to be.
is
We
also
couldn't find a
carrying
photo
payload
beforehand,
developed
but
by
I figured it
National
was just a little
Central
box like
University in
this.
Taiwan,
Yeah.
a device that measures radiation levels in space and on the lunar surface.
And that's
This
the
data will
radiation.
help improve the design of electronic components which are heavily affected by the space environment.
Nice.
Furthermore, there's a payload developed by
Yeah.
Euglena,
Definitely not on my
company
first try
engaged
either,
in
Therian.
algae research and development. This experiment focuses on algae growth and could contribute to future food production in space. Resilience isn't carrying just specific payloads, it also includes cultural and artistic objects. Resilience carries a GOI Universal
real one.
Century
The Space
charter
Century
plate created
chapter.
as part of the Gundam
Heck
Open
yeah.
Innovation Project led by the
You can actually
Gundam
buy
Namco
them.
Bandai Namco Group. And finally, as a payload on the Tenacious rover,
there's a little
there's a
Swedish
small
house.
red
we
hot
go.
object called the Moon House, created by a Swedish artist. In addition to the payloads mentioned above, Resilience is also carrying a memory disk from UNESCO designed to
Nice,
preserve
Ika.
humanity's linguistic and cultural heritage. They are transporting quite a variety of things. Mission 2 is not only a technology demonstration for accelerating lunar development, but also a part of the Hakuto-R program designed to validate iSpace's business model for lunar transportation services. Let's welcome someone who knows the Resilience lander better than anyone. Joining us now is Mr. Yoshitsugu Hitachi, Executive Vice President of Engineering at iSpace and the lead for Mission 2 development.
All right, this is one of the core dudes. He's been there since the Google Lunar X Prize days. He's not the main guy who started it all, but he's been there from the beginning.
Or good morning. Or good day. I'm confused now.
He looks like he wants this to succeed. He's bags under his eyes. He's had a few late nights, I think.
He's ready.
Yeah, he's ready for
Share with
this.
us frankly how you're feeling right now. Let's see. After Mission 1, in order to welcome today, we have been
Seriously,
preparing so
Eduardo.
hard.
KSB is here. Actually, let me turn this down for just a second. KSB is hard with full sensor data and perfect information. Imagine adding noisy sensors and only partial position awareness. Exactly. That's why. Yeah. That's why
And
they
a
haven't had
2-second delay.
Yeah.
Nervous?
That's why it's a lot harder in real life. But still good practice to do it in KSP.
I am looking forward to that. I am rather excited. My heartbeat is so strong that it'll
Should
probably
be
jump
19 minutes,
onto the moon.
Itodani Corporation.
That's how excited and thrilled I am right now. It's been 2 years since Mission 1. So the development of the lander and the growth of the team, has there been any progress? Well, as was seen in
this
the
guy.
video footage at the beginning, we did not have a good luck in Mission 1. We did not succeed in lunar landing. However, in a sense, it was a successful experience for us because we are now able to leverage what has been learned from that experience, reflect that onto our next mission. And there are a lot of things we did for Mission 1, and our team members experienced all of those. And we are now endeavoring to achieve this new mission. We have come this far, and the team has grown so much. Good, amazing leadership and followership. With those, we have built a strong team spirit. And this is not just brown-nosing. This is not to brown-nose our team members. But every day, I work with each member of the team. And I know how much they have put into this work through our daily conversation and seeing them every day, how they work. I know how passionate they are. Every day I feel that firsthand. The team is marvelous. It's amazing. Thank you. The team has grown so much more even. And another question that I have is regarding the engineers. I'm sure they're busy right now. What's the atmosphere like at the site or MCC? Yes, as was announced at the MCC earlier, DOI detachment or departure from the orbit has been completed.
Yeah, real quick, back to Kerbal Space Program. Also annoyed what happened with KSP2. But if anyone who hasn't and wants to give Kerbal Space Program a try, it is currently free right now on their website, KerbalSpaceProgram.com, if you would like to give it a try and then dip your fingers into mods.
To go into the
And yeah, looking forward to KSAs as well, the kittens in space.
perfectly for that moment, and we'll just do what we have prepared for this moment.
100% Itoidani. People not familiar with space exploration must be made aware of the number of failures that the USR and USA had when they started trying to land on the moon. There was quite a bit. I mean, the first several missions completely missed the target and just flew off into a solar orbit.
Resilience is autonomously proceeding with its landing sequence.
But yeah, there was quite a few failures of the different robotic landers. And shoot, we even just crashed stuff on purpose. Wasn't even any powered landing at all. Just let's make it durable enough that it'll survive a crash. And they were literally basically just Sputniks. They were just a radio signal beep. That was it.
Just a moment away from landing, only 15 minutes to go.
Okay, 15 minutes to go, and they still haven't brought back the telemetry screen. Let's see if they do soon.
After touchdown.
After landing, the mission will continue as we support our customers in their surface operations and our colleagues in Luxembourg at the Mission Control Room, where they will be preparing for the tenacious rover deployment. The lunar surface is a whole new regime. It's a whole different world. On the surface, we'll be watching our power and temperature very closely until we say a final goodnight to Resilience.
After we pass the 48-hour mark of the initial surface operations, we enter a routine phase where all of us, the operations team, continue to monitor the spacecraft 24 hours.
JPL had peanuts on the 7th landing and it succeeded, so now they always eat peanuts for mission success. That's really interesting. I've never heard that before, but sounds true. Yeah. Good luck, Charm. We'll have peanuts available if there's a mission success.
放射線を測定する TSRP、 水電気分解をする高砂様の HOC、 ユーグレナの実験装置、テネシアスローバーの運用を行います。ランダーは月面の朝に到着します。ランダーに搭載された太陽電池パネルで発電するため、月の日中しか活動することができません。月の日中は約2週間となっています。
After 14 days has passed since we landed on the lunar surface, the mission is coming to an end. We drive the rover towards the sunset, say goodnight to our lander. We decommission the Resilience lander and the tenacious rover, and this marks the end of mission 2.
Thank you to the MCC team for the explanation. Well, according to the schedule, we have about 13 minutes left until Resilience lands. Everyone here at the venue and watching online, it's almost time. It's really exciting. Let's hear your excitement. You know, there you have
good thought, Wolf Bear.
And we just now heard the announcement. Breaking burn phase. So the phase 3 breaking burn has just started.
Okay, breaking burn just started. Let's put up the telemetry screen, please.
To decelerate. So a few thousand kilometers per hour, is now will rapidly be decelerated. Right. I hope that this excitement of this venue is coming through on the stream as well. We're just a moment
There
away
we
from
go.
Japan's
All right.
first ever private lunar landing.
Okay, we at least have altitude, and it's in meters, so okay, that's good.
A successful landing. That doesn't mean it's the final goal.
No speed yet, but that's okay.
That's right. I'd like
Looks like
us
all
to take a
7
step
engines
back
are
from the
currently
mission at
firing.
hand and talk
We
a
have
bit
1
about
main
iSpace's
engine and
future
6
that lies ahead.
auxiliary
So
engines.
Let's welcome in Junpei Nozaki, iSpace's CFO and Executive Business Director. Nozaki-san, he's joining
We're
us.
going to get one more speech, though. Yeah, here's another one of the core guys.
Here, it has a start.
What was that, John?
Right, thank you for
They should leave the telemetry in the corner.
It's a question to Nozaki-san.
Yeah, hopefully.
Questions from investors like, what's next after mission 2? If it succeeds or if the landing doesn't go as planned, does that mean it's all over? So some concerns and some questions, what would you say to these? I completely understand, those questions and concerns, but please rest assured, Mission 2 is incredibly important, but just as important is the fact that our iSpace is committed to going to the moon again and again, and we do have this after Mission 2.
It's always the scientists that end up bridging the gap between countries with differences.
2027.
And that's just another reason why I love this stuff.
Right. And so we'll be using the Apex 1.0 lander, this image, and our Series 3 lander for those missions. We actually have a video of the latest prototype of the Series 3 lander.
What?
Right.
All right.
So this
New
is
lander.
currently under development.
She's pretty.
Series 3, cool looking, and it's even
Not the
larger
same
than
size,
current
too, just
Resilience
wider.
Lander, standing over 3 meters tall.
Oh, that looks.
It's designed
Those
to
legs
carry
look
several
way
hundred,
sturdier. Holy cow!
kilograms of clients and payload to the moon. Much
Absolutely,
more than
Raul.
before, and, instead
But
of,
don't
the
celebrate
45
early.
months it used to take,
It's bad
this
luck.
new model will reach the moon in just about 1 month. You're actually doing everything in a very fast speed. And it's really important that we prepare future missions.
Wow, that's further along than I thought. That is great.
Learnings that we get from a mission 2, and even if a mission 2 doesn't result in a successful landing, the next mission lined up means
not
that
top
we'll
heavy.
have a direct way to apply the insights and the data. Right. So that's the very spirit of never quit the lunar quest, right? So we're gonna continue going to the moon, getting to the moon. So please, be with us throughout the journey.
Gambare. You can do it.
Well, it's almost time for the landing. So 9L minus 9 minutes. And so let's have, the CEO founder, Hakamada-san,
9
coming on the
minutes.
stage.
One more speech. Here's the guy that actually herded the cats and got everyone together to do this whole thing.
Good morning, Hakamada-san. Good morning, everybody. Luxembourg and US members, good evening. Well, this is, finally we're here. How are you feeling right now? Well, led by our engineers, we've carried out Mission 2 by fully applying the lessons and experiences gained from Mission 1. And, and Mission 2 too, even before, this is amazing that we have come this far.
Space cats are the hardest to herd.
Engineers did everything they possibly could. So I want to face this landing moment with everybody with confidence, trusting everything we've done to get here. Right. Thank you very much for sharing what's in your mind. I guess in each and every day, every lesson that we've learned is being put to use in this mission to lunar landing. And surface exploration. Yes, and I'd like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank everyone who has consistently supported iSpace
Come on.
all over the world.
We're minutes away. Give us the data
because of
back.
your support that we've been able to take on these challenges. And this is a really late at night or early in the morning, and so many of you are here with us, and so many people in Luxembourg.
The Japanese do like their speeches.
We have so many peers and friends
They
and
have a
families.
telemetry right
and
there. Show us
everyone
that.
who's expecting a lot, in iSpace, and so
Pan the camera
great
back. We want that
support,
one.
Great excitement and great expectations. So this long journey has been long, and it's been a tremendous, endless support. And so to our partner companies, Payload and the customers and the clients, government bodies, space agencies, shareholders, financial institutions, suppliers, investors, media members. And the list goes on, and employees, and all these iSpace members, and friends and family, those the member dear and near to our members. We are really grateful, and we're very happy. And I'd also like to thank MSBC for their support as an official partner of Hakuto-R and for providing this wonderful venue. So engineers has been at the core, and
that is something I will say about Takeshi Hakamada here. So brilliant. They're just a couple of guys, smart guys, engineers and all that sort of thing, but without the money and means to do it themselves. Having the wherewithal to be able to approach and attract investors to get this stuff going. And yeah, their suits kind of look like they're a pit crew for a car race crew.
Yeah.
and they have other people's logos all over their lander, but so be it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened at all. So much respect to this guy. It does kind of look a little bit cool.
We will bring you live commentary from.
I want one of their jackets. I'll be happy to wear their logos.
Seriously.
Landing simulation footage. So where are we? So in terms of
maybe we should start.
All right, here we go.
Oh wait, that's already been done.
Here we go.
Breaking burn phase, and
looks like we're getting all telemetry now, although it's not moving at the moment.
Kilometers per hour, and then it's drastically less. And now we're 10 kilometers, in altitude, and looks, quite,
yeah, 100%, Raj.
But it actually, the deceleration is really fast. So
oh, hey, Jacob met Takeshi. Very cool.
After this becomes less than 10 kilometers, it's going to be
Zap fan. I actually saw a thing for them selling T-shirts earlier today on X.
Landing site.
At least I think it was them. It might have been someone doing some sort of bootleg.
Away from the landing site, so we're very, very close already. All right, thank you very much for the explanation. And then those at the venue.
All right, numbers are moving.
Time to touch down.
It is slowing down.
Screen, even
and it
if
is going
shows,
down.
0.
Yeah.
And even altitude it shows 0. We don't know if the
7,500 meters.
Landed. It would look the successfully.
If it was on Earth at the moment, it would still be going faster than the speed of sound.
The state of the lander and MCC.
They're now under 1,000 kilometers per hour is what they have that set as.
You see 0, number 0, but it'd be great. And if you can wait, we will hear
that's still incredibly fast.
Announcement.
At this altitude in Kerbal, I'm usually trying to be somewhere around 300 kilometers per second. If not way slower than that.
Very, very special.
Man, they are dropping fast already at almost 5,000 meters.
You see this, altitude is only 5 kilometers and the speed is much less.
3 minutes to landing.
It's like an airplane speed. Yes. It's a 500 kilometers per hour.
You can do it.
Yeah. It's a deceleration
about the speed of a jumbo jet
very
now.
rapidly happening. It's less than a 4 kilometer.
All right, we're under
Thrusters
400
are
kilometers per
working
hour.
perfectly. Is how
Altitude
I
is
see
dropping a
on
bit
the screen.
slower. This is good.
So
This is
now it's less than
encouraging.
400 kilometer per hour, and it's only 3 kilometers in altitude. This is a bullet train kind of speed. So you
I don't
can
know if their
probably
speed
not,
is how
imagine
fast they're
what it's
dropping
like.
or how
This
fast
is
they're
everything
going
isn't working out
along the
great.
ground.
The lander is going to start changing the attitude.
Good question.
Yes.
I would assume that it would just be how fast they're going,
Now you're
but
seeing this
in
on the
relation to
side, right?
what?
But it's
So
gonna
yeah,
be,
good,
you know,
good
so we don't
question.
know.
Going to be standing horizontally, and this is the
Switch to a
simulation.
graphic. Oh.
That's all right.
So we're
It's all
almost, you know,
graphics
right
before.
above
engines
the
just
However,
shut down.
yeah, all engines just shut. Oh well, they came back
Thank you
though.
very
They
much.
came back.
And,
Whoa!
Yeah,
these two
it did
lines,
its transition.
The yellow is line is showing
Go
on the right
Resilience,
that the sun
go!
is. The white
So
line
altitude is
is indicating, you know,
323
the
meters,
direction of the
50
landing,
meters.
landing zone.
Approach started.
That's still fast.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Telemetry
Uh-oh. Telemetry just cut out.
would have in a moment where we can't see the numbers, but that's just, you know, the communication, telecommunication. The pitching up, pitch up in a phase. So we are moving into the phase 4.
Oh,
So
no.
telemetry figures are not coming.
No.
We are
Please, good
continuously
landing.
getting this announcement from MCC. I think it's working.
No. No. Look at that dude's face. No.
Just a
It
bit
hit
more.
too early, too fast.
So it's less than a minute until the scheduled landing time.
Oh, man.
So let's see how the MCC members are. Less than a minute away. Very, very nerve-wracking moment. Everyone's super concentrated.
They litho break it.
And it's wait patiently. It's already 4:17, the scheduled landing, and we need to check the telemetry.
Makes me wonder if they hit like a cliff edge or a small hill or something like that.
This is, you know, where we need to be patient and wait for just
5
a while.
months waiting. Resilience
we're
taken out by bird strike.
using,
That would be a discovery.
time, and we're still very.
There's an algae leak into the fuel system.
Confirming
That's what it was.
how it is.
Yeah, do we need to check on the moon and make sure it's okay? And that's all right, John. Good. I hope that we spread spores and algae everywhere. These do not look like happy engineers. Dang it. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping as well. Hopefully some part will get a detectable signal.
I can see the nervous look on everyone's face in MCC. They're confirming the communication with the Resilience lander.
I don't know if that was just a bad signal that they were getting,
Yeah,
but it was really weird how the engines cut out and then turned back on again.
It looked like it was doing a flip, but it was still. I think it was still doing like 230 meters sideways.
To null itself
an
out.
hour.
Well, still, we're in the process of confirmation and verification.
So they had a schedule.
We're just waiting for confirmation.
Still in the process of confirming, checking. MCC room is filled with members, more crowded than its normal.
That's the everyone who's non-essential get out.
So it can't take so much time, right? That's done. So
Here, I'm going to try something, and I'm going to rewind just a little bit.
Some time
and we can see this again, and then we'll
right
catch back up.
The landing site.
So yeah, 235.
Thank you very
Here,
much.
let me go back just a hair longer.
Imagine what it's like. This is everything is working out great.
Yeah.
The lander is going to start changing the attitude. Yes. Now you're seeing this sideways.
Yeah, this is really weird here. How
yeah, so the engine slowed down.
Horizontally.
Then they cut out. That was it doing a flip. To vertical, possibly, because they did say they were going to do that. There would be a cut off and it would flip to vertical.
Right, thank you very much. And these two lines, the yellow is line is showing where the sun is.
Yeah,
the white line is indicating
the final was 187.
All the engines went to full power.
And then this right here, this negative 223. Dang it! Dang it!
In the
Let me go back up to the catch back up to the live portion. Oh man.
Right, so
yeah. One nice thing, well, I don't know if it's nice or not, but this was the last version of the Hakuto, and they're moving over to the Apex one that they showed a little bit earlier. It's a bit wider, and looks like it has a much sturdier legs, although that's not going to make much of a difference if they can't get their, speed and trajectories correct. Yep, this is the... Oh, actually, speaking of, this looks like a little preview that they're showing off right now. Yeah, the Swedish house flat packed itself. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I would give space hugs out to them as well.
They want to put a rover on the moon, they've put a rover in the moon. It's now an underground house, I should imagine.
Oh, man. Well, this is really unfortunate. Obviously not the result that any of us wanted. We wanted this to succeed. However, I do consider it a success in and of itself that they tried and, did all this work to try to fix the errors that they were having last time with their altimeter. As just a quick refresher, they passed over a cliff, and their altitude spiked a lot, and it made the flight computer think that it was almost at the ground, and so it hovered for quite some time until it ran out of fuel, and then still had like a 2 or 3 kilometer drop. And even from there, that picked up enough speed from being at an almost zero hover to after it ran out of fuel, to be a sufficient speed to break apart into at least 4 pieces. Oh, man. But yeah, this time around, it was going way too fast to cushion anything. It's probably, yeah, it's probably in several pieces. Damn, next landing site should be next to the Sea of Trampoline. Why is landing on the moon so complicated? A lot of factors that people don't think about. I think it's super impressive just to get in orbit of the moon.
The machine has to basically be fully autonomous, because you've got a 2-second delay before you can actually do anything or send any commands.
Right.
So it's got to do it mostly itself.
Yeah, I'm with you, Catbirds. We should definitely get the moon stuff done before we move on to Mars.
I do like those shaker table tests.
Yeah. Yeah, when the engines cut, it was 237 kilometers per hour at 992 meters. That's already too fast, too low. Yeah. What shall we name the crater? Resilience crater? Tenacious crater? Man.
That's a Swedish lab.
Yeah, pour out a little bit of sake for our homies across the world. Yeah, I am glad that they do have a plan for after this, and they want to do up to 10 missions and do more rovers like what we're seeing on screen, and deliver more experiments and payloads, and eventually get the uh, like their big thing that they want to focus on to be part of the lunar industry is the water resources, being able to do the in-situ resource utilization and harvest water from the lunar soil. And their other big thing is helping with communications. And at some point, and there's a couple others who are working on this as well, so we'll see what happens with it, but they want to be able to, on their future missions, to deploy, small cubesats, small microsatellites, to essentially establish a communication network for the moon, so that especially when we start landing stuff on the far side of the moon, or at the high altitude north and south poles of the moon, that we can stay in constant radio contact with them. Essentially Starlinks, but specifically for their lunar stuff. And 100% agreed, they should have sent a mobile suit.
Maybe on the next one there might be a mobile suit. You never know.
You never know. Never know. Yeah, it is hard to simulate properly. Maybe I'm confusing things with Mars, but I believe that like the influence like dips and changes depending on where you are, um, or where you're passing over if you're in lunar orbit. And yeah, the inability to test seems like it'd be the hard part. You can simulate all you want, but if you don't have every single factor plugged in, there's just stuff that you can't account for without doing the real thing. It's impressive, yes, but we are 46 years from approaching a century to when it was first achieved with humans. What is going wrong? I guess we lost a lot of the capabilities. Oh my gosh. Zap fan. This is what the name of the landing site should be. Crater R. You cheeky. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Mars isn't really any harder. It's also closer to Earth reentry and landing. Just the distance that scares me. Catch up with your chats here. Yeah, Kev G, the transmission of telemetry seemed very slow to me. Maybe it was too late to do anything about it. And I think that's why they weren't really showing us the telemetry the entire time, because it was spotty and they weren't getting, all the data for it until later. I mean, I feel like that's what these kind of are. Like, even though they are sending payloads with them, it seems like and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems like the primary thing was to get, get everything working with it before they go
but I was
anywhere
still
else.
confirming the state. It'd be great, and if you can wait with us just a little more.
Okay. We'll give them just another minute or two to give us some confirmation. Yeah, Gundam Moon Lander. That would be amazing. Yeah. That would be interesting. They've done, little experiments with spheres. Like there was a shuttle mission. I'm forgetting which one it was. Um, I want to say maybe STS 87. I could be off though, where they had this little sphere that was basically just a glorified RCS thruster, and it would be able to maneuver around the shuttle and basically inspect its tiles. And whether or not we could get something to be strong enough to be able to do a moon landing is probably just a question of fuel and all that sort of stuff. But um, yeah, spherical stuff, is great for properly orienting yourself, as long as you have the same amount of strength for your thrusters in every direction that you have for your craft?
It was STS-87, and it was the AER cam.
Awesome.
Called Sprint.
Yeah, maybe they should have had an orbiter for better communications. Maybe so. Maybe so. I mean, I feel like that was kind of a similar problem with intuitive machines. That they kept losing signal. It was at least spotty, and all the other payloads that launched along with Intuitive Machines lander, because there was a couple of CubeSats on board with that one. We lost them all. They lost contact with all of them, which is also a very depressing thing. But yeah.
Space is
You're
hard.
right, Greg Woods. Luna 9 was a sphere, which opened on landing. I believe, though, that was kind of similar to an impactor. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, that BB-8 type needs detachable landing legs. It looks like it, Jimmy. We're just waiting on final confirmation, and then we'll probably wrap this up. I do appreciate everyone for being here and for hanging out together and watching this together. Obviously, there's not a whole lot, more information that we can add other than what they've publicly released. Don't have any sort of insider knowledge of their operations or anything like that. But this is fun, and I really appreciate everyone being here and watching this together, and all the nice comments that you guys have been saying back and forth. I got a little nervous at the early part of the stream when you guys started almost started arguing about Star Wars versus Star Trek, but it didn't turn into a fight. So another reason why I love this community. Everyone here is respectful and mature, and we can agree to disagree when we do have differences of opinion, and I love it. Wolf Bear, how many crashes into the moon have happened? At least
Too many
a
to
dozen.
count. Too many to count.
Too many to count.
We put all sorts up there. There's a colony of water bears up there somewhere. I think there's some mice. Is there mice? No, flies. It would have been flies, wouldn't it? That were up there as well. There's all sorts of cargo and experiments that have not quite made it safely to the moon, shall we say.
Mm-hmm.
We have created plenty of craters.
Dan Houston failed? No, it just succeeded catastrophically. It made this nice crater. Oh, man. Proximity is next. Whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Although that would be awesome. That's right. Every failure is a successful quest for knowledge. If we're not learning something from our failures, then we're doing two things wrong. We're failing and not learning from it. I think so. Yeah. For everyone combined, all of humanity's moonlanders combined, I think less than 50% actually succeeded.
Yeah, you have to put all of your energy into braking. There's no atmosphere to help, like on the Earth and Mars. You got to bring all of your material to slow you down with you.
Yeah. And yeah, you've been saying this a couple times, or at least I've seen this a couple times in the chat. Yeah, only human pilots can adapt to the landing site. I mean, that's what happened with Neil, right? They were like, "Oh, whoa, wait a second, this is not a bad spot. Let's dip into our safety reserves just a little bit and move over."
Miss that big rock.
Mm-hmm. Man. Yeah, inexpensive iteration, very close to moon landing. Actually, John, cover for me for just a second. I will be right. Oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. Let's hear what they have to say.
Online and have joined us in a very extreme time of the day. And how's the situation? So we haven't been able to confirm, but MCC members will continuously attempt to communicate with the lander, and we will be reporting you the latest state in the media interviewing that's scheduled in a few hours. So we need to never quit the lunar quest, as the spirit would like to keep in finishing this the live streaming for now. Thank you very much
They're
for
going to finish their
joining
live
us.
stream, and they're going to let someone more important than them give the answer later.
All right. Okay. Well, it is what it is then.
They had a good attempt.
That's right.
They had a very good attempt.
They did have a good attempt, and good on them for doing this and for recovering from, or at least trying to recover from their first one. I think that this was an entirely different scenario for why this one failed. And it could be that they just, I do like this comment from GTH replying to Tony James. From those experiences, we know what to do next time. I'm just concerned the low success rate is actually limiting biasing engineering decisions. They don't know what works. I think that is a real possibility of, unless everyone who's been doing this stuff shares their knowledge with each other, there's just factors that you don't know of why something isn't working right. And doing these robotically is just increasing your likelihood of failure even more. But we don't want to. We need to be able to have a way to bring somebody back. Even if it is something rickety like the old Apollo moon landers. I say rickety, but you know what I mean. I mean, the type of things that we could build now would be something quite a bit more substantial. However,
they need to. It's on the way to designing something much more reliable for the future. For every mistake they make, they know they can look back at the data and see what went wrong, and make it better for the next time. Maybe more sensors, more lasers of some kind. Better cameras, it could be anything, but every step is learning.
That's right. And they might have to relearn some things since they are going to be doing a completely different lander, or at least a different model of lander, and different engines. And that might be something that will either help them or something that they have to refigure out some of the milestones that they've already achieved just to make sure that their next lander, their Apex lander, will successfully be able to land on the moon. And I believe that with their next mission, they are going to have some sort of extra deployable satellite as a communications payload to help, keep their signal for a while. I would not be surprised if they do the same type of maneuvers that they did for this one, where they do the low energy transfer and take several months to rendezvous and orbit the moon. So hopefully they would have plenty of time to make sure that they are in a good altitude and a good speed for previous attempts. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more information in the coming days if they can figure out what exactly the reason was. But for those of us, who've played Kerbal and seen other simulations, just too low, too fast, and not sure what the issues were, but
A lesson in litho breaking.
Yeah. In any case, though, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for joining me and John today for watching their landing attempt. I still am hopeful for them that their next mission will be successful, and that all the different missions that are going to be part of the CLIPS program, the Commercial Lunar Payload Services program, will be successful, and we'll be able to actually not just have a repeat of the Apollo program, but start building a real moon base and start having operations there. we can always dream and be naive. My greatest hope would be that all nations who want to do this would work together, but yeah, at the moment that's just not going to work out with China and Russia. But for everyone else who's still on good terms with each other, I really hope that we can do this and continue to do the other things. I'm not an either or, of it's either got to be moon or it's got to be Mars. No, we can do both. We should do both, not just do one or the other. So next thing, though, that we can look forward to, if everything is going well with Astrobotic, they might have a launch of their lander at the end of this year, although that might slip into the spring of 2026. We will see. And yeah, I echo this sentiment, Emil. One of the best communities on YouTube. You guys really are one of the best communities on YouTube. We've never had, any major arguments. We don't have people spamming chat with all sorts of obscenities. And like I said earlier, I love how even when y'all have a difference of opinion with each other, we can be respectful about it. We can be mature about it. And it's great. So I love you guys. Again, thank you for being here.
Oh, we appear to have lost.
If you're not already, consider becoming a community for as little as $1 a month. Yeah. And you know what? Might as well thank the people who make this happen. Let me pull up the slates from from everybody and get back to this one. So yeah, big thank you to everyone who has been supporting us through all of the years, and especially in recent times. We wouldn't be able to do this without you, and it's because of people like you that we're able to bring on more people and do cool things. And like I said, for just as little as $1 a month, you can become a member of this. And we're going to start doing some more exclusive things just for members. I had started doing a R&D show talking about, just interesting things throughout the that's going on in the news, even if I don't make a full-blown video of it. So I would like to continue doing that sort of thing again. And in the meantime, once again, thank you to everybody for joining us today and for watching this landing stream together. Stay tuned. In a couple of hours, I do have a quick little report about the Chinese catching up with reusable rockets. So there's quite a bit of interesting footage that has come out recently. So
I saw that launch and landing. Ooh.
Yeah, look out for that in a couple of hours. And then we will also, I believe that we'll be doing our regular live stream this coming Sunday as well. So be sure to join us for that. So we'll go ahead and sign off now. But once again, thank you very much, everyone, for being here and for joining us today. And hopefully the next missions will succeed without any problems. Keep moving
to all
onwards
our Japanese colleagues quickly. Arigato gozaimasu, Jani, and sayonara. So thank you very much for joining us.
Take care, everybody. Keep moving onwards and upwards.